Bro,
you see, I get up early for these interviews, bro. If I know somebody popping, go be there.
You are a horny person and you like porn. That's why.
Why you gotta do me like that?
You captivated on what got your attention.
Bro, why you gotta do me like that?
You know, I'm not going to, no matter what, I would never go to no shit like that, no matter what. So you took advantage, you did your thing, that's good, but that's your element.
I didn't go just because I like porn, bro. I wanted to get
the fellowship of the porn, bro. You love the fellowship of the porn, you knew them niggas by name. I don't even know them. I don't know. I don't know that. You said, I'm like, no.
Hey, you did your thing. Yo, with that being said, please stay tuned for the interviews that we got coming up this next month. You guys don't want to miss it, that's for sure. I promise you that. Your boy went to this AVN convention. For you guys that don't know, that's where all the porn stars link up, and then they basically let all the perverts come and do meet and greets and shit and speak to them and shit. No, I'm not a pervert, but I did want to do the meet and greet. Okay, I had to see what was going on. Okay, I have my female there with me, so it wasn't too crazy. It wasn't like I was there unattended just showing out. You know what I mean? I went there for WWX, strictly business. You know what I mean? So come on now.
God.
Yeah, man. Let's get back into the show. Welcome back to another episode of Wrestling with Exotics. Again, it's your boy, the host with the most, the franchise kid, franchise Jerry. You know what the fuck going on? And I got my dog with me.
I think I need a Fiji water.
As it should be, and we are back, ready to give you guys some news for the week. We missed a lot. There's a lot of eventful shit that actually happened this past few weeks. And, it's funny because we was just saying, not too much shit was going on, and everybody's just trying to get to that, big pay-per-view. So, it didn't seem like a lot of shit was happening, but there was. With that being said, let's start off with our first news topic. Fortunately, now the Guns, that's Bullet Club Gold, are now 6-man champions on AEW. But they're the Ring of Honor 6-man champions. That's why I almost paused for a bit. But, so this is something that me and him been wanting to see, like the whole group with some gold. Not really in this fashion, but at the same time, guns up. You can't really hate too much. But what throws a wrench in this and kind of ruins everything is the simple fact that they have paired themselves with the Acclaimed. Now, for everybody that watches this show, y'all know that we do not like them fruit boots. Now, it ain't nothing wrong with the, LGBTQ community and all that stuff. But as far as it pertains to the Acclaim, not only are they fruit pops, but they can't wrestle and they do weird shit. And AEW got a lot of kids that watch that program and they promote scissoring grown men. I don't want the Guns, an alpha type of group, having anything to do with that. And that's just me keeping it real. Like, I'm not going to get on here and lie. Like, somebody that inspired me to not do that is Mace, bro. Because when he was talking about D-Wade, he ain't hold back. He said that's like seeing Michael Jordan in lingerie. Niggas don't want to see that. Come on now. Like, y'all trust me to come on this show and keep it real. And I'm just telling y'all, that's not what we want.
I agree with the fact that I don't want to see them wrestle together. I also want to talk about how I do see the trajectory of the storyline. I'm hoping that we're gonna get a unification of these tag team championships, or no, these trio championships, I'd say, and the 6-man title. So that way, that's one less Ring of Honor championship on the AEW roster, and at the same time, we put a forefront on trios division, because I could see the Guns and Jay White taking it to new heights. I originally seen the trio being the Guns and Juice. But I'm okay with this because, if anything, this is, I feel like, what, in a sense, what the Guns needed, because franchise has a hard time getting behind the Guns, supporting them in the aspect that he feels that they're very immature and he doesn't like their dad. So when it comes to it, I feel like Jay White can give them a lot of expert analysis and in-ring savvy that they missed on their dad, because Jay White is a big star and he's successful in this time. he's so successful that him having not beat MJF the one time in the past like 6 years that he hasn't won a major title, it's damn near flabbergasting. So I feel like this is a good storyline. I can't wait to see them take the challenge from them.
Yeah, it would make more sense if Jay White was still going after that world championship, which I don't know why his focus isn't there anymore, but I definitely hope he shifts it back into that. In other news, Pete Dunne is officially Pete Dunne again, so no more Butch, and I'm happy because he even went on Twitter and he was like, no more of this identity crisis bull crap. My name is Pete Dunne. No more Butch. Like, I don't even know why you even thought Butch was a good idea to begin with. It didn't make you do nothing but basically be like, I want to say like an Irish version of Umaga. You know what I mean? Like, you're not speaking no English. You coming out and you just beating people up, or you just a wild boar, and that's the end of your character. Like, there's no other substance besides you just coming out and wilding. You know what I mean? And I felt like that took away the champion aspect of you, and it just discredited everything that you have built up in NXT. Like, come on now, we don't want to see Butch. What the fuck is Butch? Like, Pete Dunne was that nigga in NXT, bro, and I'm happy that he's back, and well, at least figuratively, Pete Dunne is back, and, you know, back in the mindset of, I'm not playing around no more. It's time to show what I'm really about.
I definitely agree. After a year of us doing this podcast, it took them like a year and some change for you to finally get Pete Dunne back the way you know and you got that respect for him in the first place. So I'm happy for that. I feel like Pete Dunne is an underrated talent, and I feel like they need to be pushing him in the forefront of the mid-card divisions, because I feel like that's something that WWE is extremely lacking in right now. The mid-card division, if it's not a Gunther, or like, for example, I only see Logan Paul as a pawn. He's a pawn to bring as much eye as possible to WrestleMania 40. And that's because his huge social media following. Not saying that his in-ring talent and everything else is not up to par. That's not it. But he's not holding that title because of his in-ring talent alone. It's really just as much as his presence outside and what he can do for the branding-wise of WWE is why they are pushing this shit so hard. And it's just a fucking plus that the motherfucker can actually flip around this ring like he's been doing it for 20 years. So it's like an ad. It's not an insult to injury. If anything, it's like, bro, thank you. You're providing us a resurgence. We basically didn't even have to make a new star. You are that new star, and you're bringing in the people that follow you and your bitch ass brother all around to come watch WWE. So we gonna fuck with you. Now seeing him retain and everything like that, it's cool with me, you know. I brought up all that to say Pete Dunne should be someone with the United States Championship, not Logan Paul. Logan Paul is supposed to be a sidetrack attraction, and he has the athleticism and everything that he doesn't need a belt. Because at the same time, his whole gimmick is, I'm going to show you that I care and I really about this shit. Pete Dunne lives and breathes this wrestling shit, bro. He's supposed to have that. I can feel he will elevate that United States Championship way more than Logan Paul could.
Yeah, he probably could even become the longest reigning. I could see that in the cards for him.
Yeah.
But moving forward, unfortunately, Seth Rollins is out with a grade 2 MCL tear and a partially torn meniscus, yo. With surgery, he'll probably be out for 3 to 4 months before he actually does any real ring work. And that's really unfortunate, but what I'm really upset about is him not dropping the belt. I think Seth should have dropped that belt. That is far too long for you to not be competing. That's far too long, man. Like, all these people that have been sitting there waiting for their opportunity, and they can't even have a shot at you. Damian Priest can't even have a shot at you. And we all know Damian Priest isn't going to cash in on Roman Reigns. It would be more ideal for him to go try to cash in on the NXT champion, that being Ilya Dragunov. But yeah, man, like Seth Rollins out for 3 to 4 months before any real ring work, and he's supposed to be back in time for WrestleMania. Like, come on, man. What are your thoughts on Seth Rollins not dropping the belt?
Personally, I think Seth not dropping the belt is silly, and this is just clearly a case of overbooking. He should have dropped the title. Like I've been saying, this reign didn't need to be that long, but I get why he did it, because he wants to cement the championship. And all the points he tried to bring to Cody, they're irrelevant now, Seth, and you wasted your time. I feel like if he would drop this belt, if he doesn't drop this belt just because of the strength of his injury alone, Drew McIntyre is the second world heavyweight champion. I don't see anybody else. I don't want anybody else with that belt besides him at this point because I've realized that Drew's been able to make everything. He's the missing link. He's the reason why shit's not going good. Like him being on Raw and consistently coming up short and being that company guy is literally it's like the sands of time is running out on WWE. And they're realizing that we don't have any other main person in the spotlight that could actually be world champion if it's not Drew McIntyre. We cannot.
They do. They actually have a plethora, but like they're not utilizing them. Or
that's what I'm saying. Nobody has it right now like him. He can say, "I took out CM Punk," and they made it legible because now he came out there and beat up. And
Finn Bayley can say that, and Shinsuke Nakamura can definitely say that.
But I would have, but I feel like it wouldn't be the same if they give it to Drew right now because he's on that I don't give a fuck type shit. Rhea Ripley calling out Finn saying you gotta be more vicious. Yes, that could spark something, and then Shinsuke.
At the same time, though, like I don't feel like Drew McIntyre should just be elevated back up to the fucking front of the line. For the 13th time, bro. 12 straight title losses. Come on now.
13, the magic number. He's not gonna lose this time because it just makes all the sense the way he's so determined.
Okay, he's not gonna lose the next one, but it's like prolong it. I wouldn't want to see it happen right away.
I want to see it at WrestleMania 40 because that would be his crowning achievement. And I want to see it.
Drew not worth WrestleMania 40.
Yeah, Drew, you're worth it. This is for me.
He's
you
worth Backlash.
You work. No, you're WrestleMania 40. You know why?
Yeah, WrestleMania Backlash.
You didn't get your match in front of the people. They always talking shit about you. That's a story in of itself. You took out CM Punk. You created more headlines, adding to his story. You kicked Cody and knocked out his tooth. And through all this bullshit, you main event in Raw still while the champ can't even do that because his body can't hold up. You deserve this shit. Don't let no one else tell you otherwise. Because if all these people breaking down ain't showing that you can still hold this shit together and they need to resign you, Drew, if they don't give you that WrestleMania moment right now, just leave it. Just fuck it. Just go to AEW or to New Japan, whatever. Because at the end of the day, I don't see anybody else that can get that WrestleMania right now moment, and I feel that conviction, like an emotion behind them winning. If you give it to Shinsuke or Finn, it's gonna just seem like we're just giving it to him like this is long overdue. Drew had this moment and he was gonna get it, but then we had COVID. I mean, I just feel like that's the best person for WrestleMania. That actually, because WrestleMania is about storytelling, the passion, and I could see like imagine that a heel Drew McIntyre crushing Seth Rollins, that cast Seth Rollins away, injury and all, has to come back and figure it all out again. You know?
Yeah, I can see what you're talking about, man. In other news, Okada may possibly be transitioning to WWE, and not only that, but to the NXT brand. And to be honest, like I do want to see Okada in WWE, but I don't want to see him in NXT. I don't think that makes sense. I think he'd be better for SmackDown, and I would also like to see a legendary match between him and Roman Reigns, and that's the type of person that you need in your locker rooms right now to add that realistic factor, to add that credibility, you know what I mean? And at the same time, I can argue right now that Okada is way better than Shinsuke Nakamura and a lot of people. So nothing about Okada says that he should be in NXT. It doesn't make any sense for him to go there. Yeah, and if he goes there, he would be OD. Like, he would literally beat the fuck out of everyone except for Braun Breaker and Ilya.
They can't make him lose to nobody. Because honestly, bro, that mess with his lineage and the prestige of how...
He's too prestigious to just go to NXT.
He's a literal, like, walking championship. And it might sound crazy, but he literally built the foundation. He's like a modern-day Antonio Inoki.
If this is like a move to get NXT to that main roster type of vibe, to that, you know, that kind of feel like, okay, this is credibility for NXT. Like, okay, we got main eventers here. So now you can't just call this a developmental brand. Then I could fuck with him going to NXT. But if you guys are just having him go there to try to act like he needs development or something like that, no. That's why.
Daniel Bryan. He beat Bryan Danielson. No matter how you feel about Bryan right now, and he's still the best technical wrestler alive with one hand. He
Right.
Okada.
He's been having legendary matches all year.
He almost broke Okada's hand and trying to maintain his broken hand while he's trying to tap him out.
Didn't he have like
And
he was one of the wrestlers from 2023 to have the most 5-star matches. So I'm like, bro, like nothing about that says go to NXT.
I feel like if he was to go to WWE, he'd have to be on Raw, and just because Raw, seeing how they just signed that deal with Netflix and shit, they need all the sparks they can get. Roman already has that legendary factor, like that aura when he comes on to SmackDown. That's what I always be like. The Tribal Chief's returning. Raw needs somebody like that, and I feel like when it comes to Okada, he has that big fight field presentation, so I can see him making a huge grand WrestleMania type entrance, you know, bro?
Yeah, facts. And speaking of NXT, Ava, for you guys that don't know, The Rock's daughter is now the NXT general manager. To be honest with you guys, I don't really understand this, and at the same time, I'm not really feeling it because NXT is all about credibility, you know, right now, like gaining their credibility so that way they can become more like a main roster type of deal. I felt like they should have had another person in power that is somewhat similar to Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. Like, you guys couldn't have found another one of them. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Ava except for the experience, and at the same time, it's just, you know, there's not enough credibility with her as a person, and she doesn't have really much of a wrestling background to where I'm just like, okay, yeah, you're a strong GM, you're cool and this and that. Like, I mean, even Vicky Guerrero had some type of background, not wrestling background, but she was, you know, Eddie's wife and this, that, and the third.
Yeah,
like,
established character in the sense.
Yeah, she could talk on the mic and all type of stuff. You could look at Stephanie McMahon. She's well decorated in the ring, former women's champion, you know, and speak on the mic, you name it. So, like, I'm saying Ava just don't have these credentials that all the other general managers do, and especially like these new age ones that we see in Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. Like, you know, I feel like that's what NXT needed. They needed another buff ass dude in a suit that looked like they're not playing around, and a dude to come out and be like, yeah, we the new main roster. Y'all ain't gonna be, you know, calling us no developmental brand no more. I feel like NXT needs somebody that's going to come out and stand on business like that and really establish we here. Like, kind of like how, I don't know exactly who, but kind of like how ECW like was in 2008. They was like, look, we here. We here. We having just as good as matches as y'all. Our champion is just as good as y'all, and we not bullshitting. Which, you know what I mean? Like, that's why they was on the game. They had Raw vs. SmackDown featuring ECW, like, you know, and it was lit. And Bobby Lashley was the champ at that time. So that's what I mean. Like, I feel like they need somebody that's really gonna stand on business.
I feel like with Ava,
again, no disrespect to Ava,
everybody needs like our proving ground. Everyone needs like a chance to prove themselves. And I've been in the opportunity to be like in a situation where I'm younger than people, but I'm in charge of them and telling them what to do and expecting them to follow suit. Not because I'm manipulating you, because I'm in charge and I'm younger than you think I'm going to abuse you. I would like to feel like I could do the job the same way that you think you could, or someone of your age. But I do feel that they took her out of that role in the ring and put her backstage because maybe her talents are better suited for that. And who knows, I was saying off camera that maybe she's still practicing, but she doesn't feel she's as comfortable. And the people who she was with, the entity that was on NXT previously, maybe she was picking up bad habits in the ring from them and didn't feel and wants to adapt to a whole new moveset. But in the meantime, she could be on screen, not getting out of sight, out of mind, while developing like these skills to talk on the mic, be more comfortable. She's under Nick Aldis' wing, so you already know she's gonna pick up good habits and traits, and she's not gonna be letting just anyone talk shit to her.
Yeah, so, I do like that aspect.
So
at least she's getting some game. But again, like, you know, it's too soon. It's too fast. Like, it's like,
bro, I just
what is Shawn Michaels' role?
Look, cause he's just the booker. And at the end of the day, he did that. He's smart. It's something he saw in her that he put her there. And I feel like you gotta remember, even Johnny Nitro at one point was Eric Bischoff's little assistant, and we never thought he would blossom into being Johnny Mundo, this legendary talent. So sometimes these people they put somebody on screen because they see that talent, but they're not ready for it to be on the forefront yet.
Yeah, I get that, bro. Up next, very quickly, I would like to just reiterate my point about Damian Priest cashing in on the NXT champion, that being Ilya Dragunov. I feel like that would be the most easiest, most credible thing that he can do right now. And I say that because he's obviously not going to be able to cash in on Roman. There's not a chance in hell that is possible. I promise you guys. And you see, he can't even get to Seth now, and the contract expires at WrestleMania. So with that being said, whoever Seth goes against at WrestleMania, Damian Priest is going to try to cash in on one of them, and I still don't see him cashing in.
It expires at WrestleMania?
Yes. Yes. It always expires at WrestleMania. You get 1 year to cash it in. But your year pretty much ends at WrestleMania. You know, that's why Money in the Bank is like 2-3 pay-per-views after WrestleMania. So yeah, bro, he don't got a lot of time. And Seth Rollins is off television. You can't sneak him if you wanted to. So that was my point too.
He gonna cash in on the Intercontinental Championship.
That's why I was saying earlier, Seth Rollins should have dropped the title, bro. Like, come on. Like, you're delaying niggas from winning this belt. Like, you're literally stopping the flow.
I've been over Seth's reign. Seth's not a good champion. Seth's a good, I want to get to the title. Yes, bro, you defended a lot. That doesn't make a good champion. You don't come with for example, Kenny Omega was a world champion. Fire. John Moxley's a world champion. Fire. And he does the same aspect of you. Oh, scrappy, take on all comers.
I want you to also look at it like this too, bro. Who in NXT is stopping Damian Priest? Straight up.
Nobody.
Anytime soon. He should be able to hold that belt for at least 3 to 6 months.
I also wanted to say that's a great idea that you came up with, that he should cash in on him. The only reason I feel like Damian Priest would do that is because Damian Priest knows damn well that his name does not hold up next to Roman or Seth, and you're older than both of them,
right.
And you're not even someone like LA Knight that is on your own got over. So I can swear,
and you've never had the NXT championship.
Bro, he just don't have I swear to you, watching Damian Priest, you just
something
missing. No matter how much he do, I realized last year they got high expectations for you.
Honestly, if he dressed different,
it could be because he's a workhorse, and you could tell that they love having his style of wrestling in the ring, forefront, WWE Raw. Monday, you start the show,
it has to be how he's dressed. Then it has to be, bro. Like, I know that sounds like cliche and just whatever, but it's it's pretty much probably how he dresses. Like, if he came out there in some actual blue jean pants. Or in an actual tank top.
He came out here baggy.
Came out look like a thug,
like a goth. It's he could be
dressed like Dom in his street clothes almost.
On some different, some baggy shit, or just not these bustiers. Just ever since they said that about you, bro, they can't unsee it. Then the people just be like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah, so that's why it's you're not marketable to a big audience. You're only marketable to a certain freak audience. No disrespect to them. If those are our fans, forgive us, but y'all a little freaky. That's why you dressed in all black, and as a grown man, you're wearing eyeliner and shit. Come on now. What other grown man in his 40s is wearing eyeliner on some small shit?
Dom and down with you ain't never doing that. They down with you and they don't do that.
Don't do that. So come on, we're not crazy. I'm just keeping it real. Yeah. I have to
that
be
should
real.
Be funny though. I feel like Damian Priest has a lot of potential if he Punisher Martinez. That's your Ring of Honor gimmick. You weren't on this type of time, bro. You didn't wear none of these weird ass vests. You need to cut that shit out.
Yeah, bro. You got to get back to the roots. Next on Wrestling with the Exotics, we got to talk about Monday Night Raw transitioning to Netflix in 2025. That deal was $5 billion for 10 years. Isn't that crazy, bro? To be honest,
I don't like them moving to Netflix. I'd rather them have moved to HBO Max or, stay on Hulu and upgrade your service on Hulu and stuff like that. But, obviously money talks. But I say that because I really like Netflix. And at the same time, like, Netflix has gotten more strict over the years. And y'all that got Netflix know what I'm talking about. They not playing about them subscriptions. And at the same time, you can't share your passwords and have all these other devices. Hell no. You got to check in with Google every time you try to log in on a different device.
Hey, is that you?
Right. So I guess it sounds bad, but yeah, you can't even share Netflix, like, for real. So yeah, with all that being said, they getting too strict for me, bro. I'm not feeling that. How you feeling about Raw transitioning to Netflix?
I feel like Raw transitioning into Netflix is better for the future. I understand that we as fans are not accustomed to this, but you gotta look at it like this. Vince and the WWE, well, I should say WWE right now because Vince is stepped down. We're gonna get into that later, but they have been able to really see what's viable for the company for years and think ahead. You have to realize that WWE is always trying to be on the forefront of things. So what better way to be on the forefront to say we made the jump from cable to streaming first, than have AEW come within the first 10 years and do that shit, or even come up with, oh, WWE turned this down, and Tony Khan hears that, and he's a billionaire too. He could just be like, oh, just do that. That's my first too in the first 10 years. So this is a big step for them, but you got to look at it like they know what they're doing. And I feel like this is better because when the library's on the streaming platform, along with the whole Raw, I just feel like everything's going to sync just a little bit better.
Yeah, because they're going to have the whole catalog, and SmackDown is also going to be featured on there as well.
Exactly, and I feel like it's just the right thing to do. I know that actually too, I quickly want to mention SmackDown is actually going to have a deal with, I believe, USA. So I don't know how long they're going to stream from Netflix, but at some point they're going to be on USA. So we look forward to that, I believe, in 2025 or something like that as well. But, bro, I'm hyped for it because it's like, you love seeing WWE take these leaps and bounds, bro. I remember watching WWE when I was a kid in 2013. And remember when they would, actually it was like 2012. They would throw out the WWE logo, but it was like, the network logo, but it was like random ass. You're like looking around, like see all these flashing lights, all these kids walking around like the universe and all this shit. Like, what are they doing? And then you see the network, and I'm like, we actually get the WWE network, and I love the original concept of how that was.
I wish they went back to the WWE network, bro.
If you guys are listening out there, and that's what the new Netflix is gonna be like, maybe a toss up of what's going on right now, but a little bit of that, I'd be okay with that because that was such an easy thing to navigate. It had everything we needed to see, and I feel like WWE, you want to like bring some edge back. Please release some of the unedited shit because you already dealt with the shit. So like we need to see that shit because it's the raw entertainment factor.
Oh yeah, Netflix don't be giving a fuck. Yeah. Netflix got everything.
Exactly. So I feel like that should not be a barrier. From the library needs to go back to how it was originally on that streaming platform.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, moving along. WWE has plans to add more realism and sports-centric elements to the show. And I got this from P. Winsider. I'm actually hyped to hear that. And that's something that we preach a lot on this show. We want more realism. And, credibility is everything. Like, we don't want to just see these little silly-ass gimmicks happening backstage and shit like that. Like with Tozawa, like, oh, that's not, like, we don't need all of that extra shit. Should be funny, like, and at the same time, like, it's sports entertainment, but, like, I got into wrestling for the wrestling. Like, you know what I mean? The characters was always a plus, but, like, seeing the moves and shit is what keeps my interest. Like, that's why I don't fuck with boxing like that, because I'm just watching niggas line up and move around the ring and, try not to get knocked out the whole time. And, like, I honestly get bored and fall asleep sometimes. I got into wrestling because they're doing that, but, like, on a whole nother scale to where that may lead into someone being put through a table or getting hit with a chair or a kendo stick or somebody's
and
mom.
You're supposed to get up, but you might not.
Right, and then somebody's mom and dad getting disrespected and, you know, all type of wild ass shit.
Entertainment through the
Like,
whole through and through.
Literally, I'm watching Randy Orton pull John Cena's dad out the crowd and kick him in the fucking head. So with that being said, I like the fact that WWE is trying to add more realism into this shit, bro. And you're going to Netflix, so, you know, you want to turn it up a notch. Like, you know, get people reinvested, the people. And I say that for people that aren't wrestling fans yet. You know what I mean? Like, make them wrestling fans. And that's the best way to do it. Add more realism.
You know what, another thing I was thinking about, just to add on to how Netflix is good for WWE. We found WWE by flicking through the channels, right? They're trying to get a different audience now. They already caught maybe as many people as they can flicking through the channels. Now it's trying to get some people flicking through the streams. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, take it to like, a whole bunch of people have streaming platforms, but they don't have cable, so they're probably just like only watching what's on the streaming. So like when they get bored of that, they're gonna take a chance on what's on Raw. That's a good thing they brought back all this realism, because Netflix doesn't give a fuck, like you said earlier, so they're gonna be able to get away with a lot more. Also, I feel like WWE, you gotta compete with AEW when it comes to just the inner ring, like he's saying, it's the wrestling. The AEW can sell out wrestling events just solely off of what's going on, not that whole huge storyline. Yes, they have the Christian cages, but it's not the main.
It's not like they have any like deep rooted storylines. Like it's not like that. Like some of them just kind of be like sporadic, and you know, and then they also don't have like a lot of backstage corny segments and shit. And most of the time they do, but that's for Rampage and shit, and that's why that show don't really get watched.
Literally.
Last but not least, for our news segment portion of the show, unfortunately, we got to bring up the Vince lawsuit. Obviously, there's been some very nasty things said about Vince doing some things with a Miss Grant. In no way, shape, or form do we condone any of what Miss McMahon has been alleged to doing, not just from this suit, but from all the other previous suits. We obviously knew that there's, you know, something going on. Like, I won't say that I was really surprised by seeing this in the tabloids once again, but it is very unfortunate. And apparently it got to the point to where Vince was costing the company some real money. So, you know, it was getting messy and hard for him to even hide. So that's also part of the reason why he stepped down. But if you guys think that he's not still collecting that WWE check, you're tripping. He stepped down. Okay, that's like me quitting this podcast, but it's still being ran. I'm still going to be making money off of this shit. It's my shit. I'm just not on it.
Yeah.
So that's just how it goes. But, you know, I really hope this shit isn't true. And at the same time, this shit just causes me to have a lot of questions for both sides. Like, I have some questions for her and for him. No way, shape, or form am I taking his side, nor am I just fully all the way on her side, because she did do some iffy things to me as far as accepting gifts and reporting it super late. At the same time, this is happening alongside of WWE just signing that Netflix deal. So there's a few questions. I just want to know how legit all this is. So I won't really speak on too much until more information comes out. But man, like, this is a real nasty, sick work if it is, you know, all alleged to be true. So what are your thoughts on this, man?
Honestly, I just think it's kind of crazy that Vince at this age is still exposing himself to these opportunities. No matter how much we don't know about this, it's just a pattern that we have to acknowledge. It's always him involved in a sexual situation where now it's always trying to be used against him, or it's like, oh, he did this and he overstepped this boundary.
Yeah.
And it's just like, Vince, come on, man, you're almost 80. Yeah, you gotta figure out something else.
Man, I hope my joints still work good at 80, to be real with you. Like, he's still using his shit, like, and you see he's abusing it. He's abusing it.
He's abusing it.
Allegedly
abusing it. But I just feel like he's at this stage, bro. If all this is true, because it's all alleged at this point, it's not looking good, Vince. I feel like you're discrediting yourself. You built an establishment, you took something from your father and you built on it so well to the point that other legible entities want to merge with you and sign $1 billion deals with you, and this is what you're exposing yourself to.
Yeah, man, it's not a good look.
Yeah,
a good look.
No matter what, I wouldn't wish this on anybody to be involved with that because it taints your name. No matter how much as a kid I didn't know, I didn't know about Vince. But
you can't even play around like that, bro.
You can't
because everybody's always just gonna be looking at you with the eyebrow.
Yeah.
Like, why they play like that? There's the truth and lies.
Exactly. So it's just like he's eliminated himself from being the caliber of the greatest businessman without having any smut on his name. And I feel like it would be different if it was different kind of smut, but it's like, why is it the same tread and trail? But hopefully we get a bunch of answers and we can get resolved.
Yeah, man, for sure. Our condolences, though, to the victim or victims who may be involved in any type of way, shape, or form.
I just want to say quickly about that because I didn't acknowledge the victim. I would say, Ms. Grant, if this allegedly is all true and happened to you, I wouldn't wish this on anybody because you are somebody's daughter. I know recently you lost your family, and that's tough on anybody. That is something like I don't never imagine or could imagine to go through. So it's like you're at a very, very vulnerable state. So I wouldn't want to be manipulated, and I'm at that state, and gifts can seem like one thing, and they can lead to something else that you didn't agree to. So not everybody's taught that at a young age. I know I was, so I'm grateful for that, but I don't hold it against you if those gifts led to this, because from what these messages and everything that we've seen allegedly, bro, it's horrific. Nobody, no matter what money or anything someone gives you, doesn't entitle you to have all these sexcapades. Allegedly. But we can move on. Something lighter.
Yeah, man. Hopefully the allegations are not true. But now let's talk about the Royal Rumble. And man, I would honestly rate this pay-per-view a solid 3.7 out of 5.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say 4.
I can't give him the fault.
I was gonna say maybe 4 though, not 5.
I didn't like the fact that Rhea Ripley didn't defend her title at this pay-per-view, bro.
I didn't like that either, bro.
It didn't make any sense to me, and that's also why I'm like, how is she getting all these Women of the Year wrestling awards and shit like that? And her best matches have been against Natalya, Charlotte Flair, and who's that one? Zoe Stark. So it's like, bro, like you haven't really done too much. You went against Zelina Vega, but it's like that's what I'm saying. Like Bianca went against the entire women's locker room and stomped mud holes in them and walked them dry. Okay, like and she lapped them. Okay, she literally lapped them. Like what Roman Reigns is basically doing. He basically lapped everybody. He just going on runs and beating everyone. So that's my point. Like she's not as dominant. But yeah, that was also a reason why I couldn't give this pay-per-view a 4. I want to start off by talking about the Women's Royal Rumble though. The Women's Royal Rumble was definitely all that. I enjoyed it. I like that they didn't have all the legends and stuff come in, and because it's like, yo, y'all got too much good talent. Like, that's what I constantly tell you. WWE got all the talent. They just don't be utilizing all of it. They use like 25%. And not only that, but they partnered with TNA and had Jordynne Grace come and be a part of the event. I thought that was big time. And I'm really hyped for that. It goes back into what I was telling you a few weeks ago. Like, that's how you create dream matches. Like, I would love to see her versus Bianca Belair. She was challenging Bianca Belair to a match on TNA. That's going to be able to get TNA some more hype. And then pretty soon they're going to be right back in competition in the ratings battle. You know what I mean? So I felt like that was a great move for WWE to do. And on top of that, having the winner be Bayley, I thought made a lot of sense. And that's also what I wanted to see. Because I know Damage Control is about to turn on Bayley. And she's going to need something to fall back on. At least she can say I won the Women's Royal Rumble. And now I'm a #1 contender for Io's belt. So, you know, you can think that y'all doing something to me, but in the long run, I'm going to be the one with the championship. and Io ain't gonna have shit. And like I said, I started all this shit.
I really fuck with Bayley winning the Royal Rumble, and I called it. I said the Royal Rumble and the Rhodes WrestleMania needs to be emotion based and has me thinking with my heart and trying to see who's gonna win, because I feel like it makes sense, but at the same time that win at WrestleMania would make this like world peace just happen type shit, even though that that's not how it works. I feel like within the WWE atmosphere right now, Bayley has basically built up Dakota Kai and All Damage Control. Even though Dakota Kai has not been a world champion, one of her proteges has been. Not only that, they've been multiple time WWE Tag Team Champions. Dakota Kai has only been sidelined due to injury, but you clearly see she's damn near running the ranks of Io and all of them, because she be sending Bayley on a mission. So there's definitely gonna be down the road. Bayley's gonna be defending the WWE Championship when she beats Io, because clear as day she's gonna challenge Io. That's why they had Nia Jackson and Rhea Ripley interrupt who Bayley's gonna pick. Like you said, they're gonna turn on her soon, and then she's gonna need something to fall back on. And I believe 2024 is Bayley's year to prove why she was in the Four Horsewomen, to prove her place, prove she can be a face and not a hugger. And who knows, if Sasha does come back, which I don't think she is, she can have a friend there. But I think she's going to stand on business on her own, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, bro. Shout out Bayley, man. She showed that she's an iron woman, and at the same time, I felt like she added a little bit more prestige on her career. So that was definitely the right decision by WWE, because you've been having her lose a lot. And in this last week on, I believe it was Raw, she mentioned that in her promo. She was all like, Bayley's lost most of her matches and blah, blah, like. I was like, yeah, so you do realize that you do have a real big losing streak. So I thought that was really dope. But, you know, we can't talk about the Royal Rumble and not mention Jade Cargill. Yo, the electricity that she had when she came out to the ring, and then, like, the talent that she displayed once she got into the ring was like, yo, gotta tip your cap to her. She did an outstanding job. She came in, slammed the shit out of Nia Jax, John Cena style, and eliminated her with ease. And on top of that, she eliminated Naomi and Becky, former women's world champions, with ease, no problem. Okay, and even at one point, they was trying to gang up on her and beat her down, and she kicked the shit out of Becky and some more shit and got out of it. So she's already showing, like, yo, you not finna punk me, and I'm this. Like, she's radiating so much confidence when she's in the ring. So, like, I was really hyped to see that, bro. What'd you think about Jade Cargill's first performance in WWE?
You know, just another fine-tuned AEW product, you know what I'm saying? Debuted on AEW.
She did say a lot of the legends there in AEW, which are from WWE, molded her and got her ready to be in the WWE.
Yeah,
so again, you can go ahead and turn that back around to the WWE.
The AEW, man, because at the end of the day, that's where you got your start. It's like, if they didn't book you the way they booked you, WWE would not have been jumping at the bit to acquire you from them.
I was thinking the whole time, like, bro, like, she was, like, undefeated for, like, over 60 plus days. She was hers. So, like, I didn't see why she needed that much time, but, like, it did make the appearance that much better.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what brand she goes to. And
I think she's coming toward the Raw brand.
I really hope she go to SmackDown, though. Like, I feel like that's just more of her vibe, and I would love to see her tag team with Bianca Belair, and they become tag team champions. Yeah, I feel like that would be super lit, because ain't nobody stopping them. Like, what? And then they just go, and then, like, Bianca can, like, help her, you know, extra in the ring and help mold her and shit like that. So, like, you'll have, like, a trainer plus, like, somebody that you can relate to and fuck with. So, like, I feel like it would just be a good combination, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to mention this, but I also got to throw in R-Truth was the first man ever to be in the Women's Royal Rumble. Bro, did you see the way he was looking at Valhalla? He came out while she was coming out,
And as he was jogging down, he looked at her like,
"What you doing here?"
The fuck? He looked at her like, "You're spooky and you're in the wrong match."
Yeah.
Like he had me cracking up. And then he gets in there and then gets eliminated by Nia Jax. And I was just like, bro, like this is what I mean, bro. This is what I'm not cool with. See, when you're doing dumbass shit like this, like that's not cool. But when you're harassing the Judgment Day and cracking jokes and making them money and fake money and then got them counting up fake money in the back, like that's dope. Like that's funny. But like when you don't know what city you're in or what pay-per-view you're at, that's not funny. That's embarrassing. And then that also like goes back into what I was saying like in previous shows, like you're embarrassing your people when you do that, bro. Because they already look at us as like we dumb and we can't do this and that. And they can't trust us with certain shit. And what do? Every week you go out there and you pretty much feed into the stereotype. Bro, like, I was just looking at this throwback video of Monday Night Raw where he was doing this segment with Triple H. And Triple H like was clowning him. But like on some shit like...
Talking to people
about he was talking to R-Truth and his imaginary friends. So he was like, look, you listen and you guys listen and blah. Like he was clowning him. And I'm like, see, like this looks so terrible and so racist. You got this white man putting down this black man without actually telling him, like, bro, Triple H was talking to him like my football coaches used to talk to me when I was a kid. Like, I was like, see, this ain't right. This ain't right. There's some level of racism to this. Like, you can't, bro, like, why feed into that shit, man? Like, come on. You don't see Omos doing that. You damn sure don't see Bobby Lashley doing that. Even that one dude, what's his name, Stitch or whatever, the nigga that be doing all the flips and shit, skits or whatever, you know. He be doing the splits and shit. Reggie.
Now he's a gang member.
Now he's a gang member.
He really from the crib. So
hey, you know, at least he know what pay-per-view he at. So that's my whole point, bro. Like you could be anything else. Like R-Truth could be so tough and so cool, but you want to come out and do that shit. Like I'm not even gonna spend no more show talking about that. But yeah, R-Truth, you need to get your shit together, bud. But yo, we got to talk about Roman Reigns retaining this WWE Championship in this first ever Fatal 4-Way match. No, bro, I'm not gonna do all that, bro. He irritates me so much. Cause why did you have Solo come in this match? Like, pause, like. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Besides the interference by Solo, this was a good match, and it made sense. I believe Roman would have won this match without Solo. And I like how even Seth Rollins mentioned that. Like, he cheats every other match. He can't win without his family, bro. So how are you sitting here talking about you're the GOAT and you're the greatest of all time and you got the world's longest title reign? When Hulk Hogan was doing all that shit, he was just doing that on some literally Hulk Hogan, Superman Hulk Hogan shit, bro. He didn't have no faction and all that other wild shit. When Bruno Sammartino held that championship for that long, you think he had his cousins coming in and fucking helping him win the championship for 8 years straight? No, nigga. It doesn't happen like that. And you can't be called the GOAT for that. That's why I'm like, bro, John Cena, stop feeding into that, man. That's sports entertainment. John Cena ain't never had no faction in his entirety of his world championship reigns, bro. All 16 of them. Never had a faction, never had a group, never cheated to win his matches. None of that shit, bro. So I'm like, bro, y'all gotta cut that shit out. But like I said, like Roman could have won this match without Solo, bro. Like I just want to see Roman have a credible match. I'm tired of seeing you beat up niggas like Kevin Owens and those be the matches you want to win clean sometimes and shit. Like, no, bro. I want to see Roman start winning clean, like, or something, man. Like, and that's also why I'm telling you right now, Cody Rhodes, you are not finishing nothing. You are not finishing nothing, my boy. And best believe, Solo ruined your match last year. So, what you thought was going to happen this year? Oh, they going to say the bloodline can't come out to the ring? Bro, Roman will win by disqualification. He will kick you in the dick or something. And then next thing you know, your dreams is over again. And you gotta wait until a whole nother... Right. They gonna put the ones up. You're gonna hear, ooh, so... Bro, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Bro, I just gotta say, bro, I told you so. I told all y'all. But guess what? Didn't I tell him LA Knight was gonna take the pin? LA Knight shut out the whole match, and I told him.
No, wait, hold on.
I told
you that LA Knight was gonna take the pin.
I told you what he wasn't, and he didn't.
Who took the pin?
AJ Styles.
Oh yeah, AJ.
He said, "Oh, he got a new gimmick. Cam, he got buried at Crown Jewel. It's over. It's over, man. Never. It's never over." He the only one that looked like a thug that whole time. Randy holding his arm like this. AJ getting hung up on the rope. LA Knight in his mind this close again. This close again. AJ fucked up and pulled him.
It's because AJ came back last. That's probably.
Bro, you can rationalize that.
I can rationalize.
You can do whatever you want. Niggas still ain't take the pin like I told you.
Alright, I give you that, man.
My boy going towards the top of the moon. He about to be at the top of this company. He gonna be a champion by the end of this 2024 for sure. And he is gonna be
United States champion.
He gonna be a world champion soon. There ain't no reason they have him on in the spectacle, and they ain't saving him just to be a dummy to take a pin. They saving him for a reason. I'm telling you, man, it's a slow climb, LA, but we know. I've been seeing the potential. He would, bro. So, what you think about his performance in the match?
It was a decent performance. He ain't do nothing like flashy or nothing, but like he had his moments. He stood on business for.
Every time you see Roman in LA, who getting dropped with the BFT?
Rogan.
Yo, you can't tell my dog not about to win something. Roman fuck with LA Knight. He got to respect it. He ain't even acknowledge him.
Yeah, well, hopefully that happens for LA Knight.
We can only hope, right?
Yes, sir. Moving forward, I want to talk about Logan Paul winning by DQ. Isn't that hilarious?
Bro, they had to figure out a way to protect KO. I quickly just want to say, it was a dope match. Logan Paul, you're a great talent. I feel like you could be...
Boy, there was so many frog splashes in that fucking match. I was like, yo, can y'all do another move? Like, holy shit. And just real quickly, let me explain for you guys that don't know how Logan won by disqualification, because Kevin Owens got caught with bronze knuckles that were introduced by Austin Theory. And KO took him, knocked the hell out of Logan Paul, and then pinned him. And then for the first time in WWE history, the referee finally sees something as small as that and stops the pin and disqualifies Kevin Owens from the match. I was actually surprised from that. Like, I was like, oh shit. Like, and now like I look back on it and his leg was fucked up. But
fractured and shit.
Bro, it was fractured before that. Like, he wrestled the whole match. Kevin was looking like, yo, I can still go. What the hell? Like, fuck. Like, so
I won.
Yeah, so yeah, I felt bad for Kevin, but this was a great win for Logan Paul, even though it sucks that he won by disqualification. And the reign continues. I'd like to see him take the belt in WrestleMania, but I don't want to see him lose it at WrestleMania either.
Oh, I'd love for him to lose at WrestleMania. It's time for him to go down, Logan Paul.
Stamp it.
No.
He needs to be stamped.
He's stamped. He's stamped.
Nah, stamped.
Nah.
Stamped.
Nah.
Yes, sir.
It needs to be capped out, and it's going to be capped out at WrestleMania. I don't know who it's going to be, but whoever it is, you are losing, my boy. I just think... Oh, as a matter of fact, is there another pay-per-view before WrestleMania? Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's where he's going to defend it.
Fastlane.
Oh, yeah. That's where he can defend it. Be stamped. Like, that's what you want, right? And then at WrestleMania, go down. I just don't think we need to see that no more. Honestly.
Well, let's talk about the main event, bro. The main event was where it's at, and Cody entered at number 15. It's actually funny because Randy Orton said the only number that's going to matter at the Royal Rumble is number 15. That's when I win my 15 World Championship. But it actually was the number that Cody Rhodes entered at and then won the Royal Rumble. There was a lot of great moments and a lot of great returns in this Royal Rumble. For example, Andrade returned. I was hella hyped to see that. And I almost forgot to start the Royal Rumble. Jay and Jimmy kicked it off, bro. What'd you think about that?
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of missed opportunity just off the fact that other than that face-off you seen for the first 5 minutes, they didn't really interact too much, nor were they involved with the elimination of each other. That could have told the story that led into WrestleMania.
They was looking at each other hella crazy. They was like...
Yeah, I feel like, and it's like, that was just Samoan side coming out, and I feel like that was the internal, like, just like young brothers and older brother vibe they got going on, but I don't know. I feel like they could have done more to make it a spectacle, but I will say Jay is steady showing why he's a good independent talent, just because, look, he spent like the most time in the Royal Rumble, even though we all know he wasn't going to win, but we all know what that means when they give you that type of airtime and allow you to make records like that and be in the Rumble that long. They see something in you or see a future, and they're trying to tell you that you have what it takes to be gritty, you know, so.
Yo, you know who also had great moments in this? Braun Breaker. And unfortunately, Braun Breaker got into this Royal Rumble because of going back to the Vince McMahon suit. Brock Lesnar was also listed in there, and he was requesting piss from this woman. So therefore, we won't be seeing Brock Lesnar anytime probably ever again. He probably isn't coming out the house. I know he's embarrassed. I know his family is embarrassed. I know his daughter's embarrassed. She's actually a really great wrestler. Looks just like him. It's scary. So that's why Braun Breaker pretty much was able to get his way into this match. Not only did he show up in the Royal Rumble, he showed out, man. He went crazy. And he pretty much beat the hell out of Gunther, bro. I'm not even going to cap. I would love to see him or Omos dethrone Gunther. I feel like one of them would make the most sense.
I think
you know what I mean?
Breaker would be the best just because automatically sells him as a threat to the main roster. And it's going to take a big imposing threat to take away that championship from Gunther. So I feel like that'd be the best person, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what else was funny, bro? They had Pat McAfee randomly in this match.
No, he's so great. I'm glad he's back a part of the WWE product.
Me too, bro. I'm pissed that he eliminated himself, though. But he got in at the same time Omos and Braun Breaker were in the ring. And I'm not going to cap, bro. I wouldn't have done the same thing, but I understand. You know what I mean?
I don't condone it, but I understand.
Right. I would have got in the ring, but then I would have went underneath the ropes and I would have kicked back.
Played it for later.
Right, and I would have made sure I'm part of the last three for sure. You know, I would have played it like that.
Morella.
Right. Pat McAfee was like, I didn't want to. He said this on First Take because they brought it up on First Take. They was all like, why you eliminate yourself? He was like, I didn't want to take away from, anybody possibly going to WrestleMania and stuff. This is their dream. They here. They work hard for this. I didn't want to, next thing you know, like, I knock out Omos and then, hit Braun Breaker with a crazy move and then I'm going to WrestleMania. I didn't want to do all that, so it's okay. That's what he said.
He's stupid.
Hell yeah. But I'm not going to lie, bro. CM Punk looked like he was going to win this shit at first. He came in at lucky number 27. I'm thinking that, okay, it's lining up. It's lining up. And then, he ends up being in the final two, obviously, him versus Cody. And when I realized that they're dragging this, and at the same time when I realized that, okay, nobody's getting eliminated within this first 2 minutes of everybody else being eliminated, I was like, yeah, Cody's probably going to go over.
Whoa.
And sure enough, he did. And I was like, wow, all right, well.
That's what's best for business, bro.
I guess so. Congratulations to Cody Rhodes for going back-to-back in Royal Rumbles, the first wrestler to do it in 26 years since Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's now 1 of 4. So, yeah, tip your cap to him. That was a great showing. But at the same time, I can't help but feel like that opportunity could have went to someone else, but at the same time, I can't hate on Cody Rhodes, man. That's my dog, and
He's been working hard all year. At the end of the day, it just makes sense. So as long as it makes sense, I'm with you when you're right. Another great moment was seeing Punk actually give a little shout out to Eddie Kingston when he did the slaps and the spinning back shit. I was like, okay, that was dope. And at the same time, he eliminated Drew McIntyre. And that's another reason why Drew gonna be sick. But yeah, man, like I said, I give this pay-per-view a 3.7. I thought it was decent. And I'm excited for WrestleMania this year. There's still a lot of time left and still a lot of opportunity for people to make it on the card. What was your overall thought about the Royal Rumble?
This Royal Rumble was kind of lackluster. I really just enjoyed the women's side of things. And I feel like WWE set up a lot for the road to WrestleMania, so I'm looking forward to that more so than I was the Royal Rumble this year. And the hype was, I talked to him about this like several. I felt like they tried to leak a lot of things and tried to mislead us, and the hype wasn't even all there watching it.
Yeah, nah, it wasn't as turned as it usually be. It was
Last year's Royal Rumble was way better.
Yeah, but the women's Royal Rumble
was phenomenal.
Yeah, they did a good
No
job.
pun intended.
They did a good job for sure. Yeah, I can't really say the same about the men's.
At all.
We appreciate you guys for watching. This has been another episode of WWX, and make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so that way you know every time we drop a track. And make sure you go check out our website to go get some Players Club gear, and that's myshopify.pcfshop.com. Alright, so go there for your Players Club gear. And like I said, follow us on all social media platforms so that way you can keep up with us throughout the week. Peace.